Welcome to Think Row, where we cover trending news of World Day 8. If you're someone who just wants to cut through the noise, well, you are in exactly the right place. We know the news cycle moves at blinding speed, and frankly, it can be pretty overwhelming trying to keep track of the whole shebang. So, we've designed this explainer to take multiple, fast-moving global sources and boil them down into one clear visual broadcast. No distractions, just the absolute essential information you need to stay fully informed, perfectly structured so you actually remember it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Today's agenda covers global conflict and geopolitics, health outbreaks and crisis, global transport and strikes, and entertainment and tech trends. And finally, make sure you stick around for segment 5. We've got some genuinely shocking breaking news at the end that you won't want to miss.
Section 1. Global Conflict and Geopolitics. Tensions rise globally. Across the globe right now, we are seeing immediate flashpoints. First up, live broadcasts from the global Samut flotilla show Israeli commandos boarding several boats that were attempting to breach the Gaza maritime blockade near Cyprus. Pushing further north, the Russian government reports that the Moscow region was just hit by a large-scale Ukrainian drone attack, tragically resulting in 3 deaths. Meanwhile, diplomatic pressures are really mounting. Former President Donald Trump warned that the clock is ticking for Iran, which comes right after Iran stated on Monday that they've responded to the latest U.S. proposals as exchanges with Washington keep going.
So the crucial point here is understanding the real human cost escalating inside these geopolitical standoffs. Just look at this number, 32. Since the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran back on February 28th, the United Nations has actually verified the execution of at least 32 political prisoners in Iran. Activists on the ground are reporting a massive surge in political executions since the start of the war. It's a stark, sobering metric of the internal crackdowns happening during these international crises.
Circling back to those drone strikes in Moscow, we can see exactly how leadership justifies these rapid escalations. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky publicly characterized the drone strikes as a justified response to the deadly Russian attacks on Ukrainian cities. It's a crystal-clear illustration of the tit-for-tat nature of this ongoing conflict, with both sides intensifying their reach. And that wraps up our rapid-fire geopolitical update. Section 2. Health Outbreaks and Crises. WHO Declarations and Outbreaks. Shifting gears to some deeply concerning global health developments, let's break down the situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo first. We are seeing a new outbreak of Ebola. But what makes this particular outbreak so incredibly difficult to stop is twofold. First, it involves a remarkably rare strain of the virus. And second, the epicenter is located deep within an area that's currently destabilized by regional conflict. You know, containing any highly infectious disease takes immense logistical coordination, but trying to do that in a conflict zone, it creates unprecedented challenges for the healthcare workers on the ground. To really grasp the severity of this, let's walk through the timeline. Over the past few months, this rare strain has been quietly spreading through the DR Congo. But the situation has escalated to the point where today, the World Health Organization officially declared the outbreak an international emergency. And bringing this closer to home for our international viewers, just a few hours ago, reports indicated that at least 6 Americans are believed to have been exposed to the virus during this outbreak, with one person actually currently experiencing symptoms. The situation is incredibly fluid and developing fast.
Meanwhile, in a totally separate health incident, a cruise ship has arrived at its final destination, at a Dutch port in Rotterdam. But unfortunately, it's been hit by a hantavirus outbreak. Authorities have ordered the ship's crew to immediately self-isolate. It is a stark reminder of how quickly global travel can intersect with infectious diseases, and we'll definitely be monitoring how the port authorities handle the containment there.
Section 3. Global Transport and Strikes. Commuter Chaos and Crashes. Let's move on and see how this builds. Just look at the sheer scale of the disruption happening worldwide right now. Global transport isn't just being affected by health crises today, it's being paralyzed by economic pressures, historic labor disputes, and some truly fatal safety failures. Over in Kenya, anger over high fuel prices has sparked a massive strike that has entirely paralyzed transport. Key roads are totally empty, and schools are literally telling students to stay home. Meanwhile, in the U.S., New York is facing historic transportation chaos. Long Island Railroad workers are striking for the first time in more than 30 years, grinding America's busiest commuter rail line to an absolute halt. And in Bangkok, a horrific safety failure. A freight train collided with a bus, leaving 8 people dead and dozens injured. Police later confirmed the driver of the crashed train actually tested positive for drugs. So, from economic strikes to tragic negligence, global transit is under immense strain today.
Section 4. Entertainment and tech trends. Pop, taxes, and AI anxiety. All right, stepping away from the heavy global crises for a minute, let's explore some fascinating updates in entertainment, culture, and tech. We are going to start with a massive financial win. £50 million. That is the staggering tax refund Colombian pop star Shakira has just won from the Spanish government. For years, as you probably know, Shakira was engaged in a highly publicized, really bitter legal battle over her tax residency. Reacting to this massive court ruling in her favor, she stated that the narrative that she was guilty now, quote, crumbles. It is a definitive multi-million-dollar vindication for the global superstar. Over in the music competition world, the Eurovision Song Contest just wrapped up with some explosive highlights. 27-year-old Bulgarian singer Dara arrived back home to screaming fans after winning her country's first ever title with the energetic track Banga Oranga. We also saw vocal history made as Ukraine broke the record for the longest note ever sung at Eurovision. Meanwhile, the UK flopped for a fourth consecutive year, which is forcing the BBC into a major strategy rethink for 2027. But contrasting these huge pop culture celebrations is a very real cultural anxiety. Former Google CEO Eric Schmidt was actually booed by graduates during a recent speech. It's wild, but that reaction perfectly underscores a rapidly growing anxiety among university students over artificial intelligence and its impending impact on their future careers and job security.
Speaking of shifting trends, let's take a look at global tourism, specifically in Goa, India. The demographic there has completely flipped. At its pre-COVID peak, Goa relied heavily on a massive influx of foreign tourists. But today, the data shows that foreign visitors to Goa have nearly halved. However, the region isn't struggling economically at all because domestic tourism from within India is absolutely booming. It's a really fascinating look at how pandemic-era travel habits have permanently reshaped local economies.
Section 5. Shocking breaking news. Mid-air collision and escaped predator. Now, what's really interesting about this next story is
This brings us to the shocking, breaking news we teased at the very beginning of this explainer. First up, sheer terror in the skies over a U.S. airshow today as spectators witnessed two U.S. Navy fighter jets literally collide in midair. The exact moment of impact was caught on camera. But fortunately, military officials have confirmed that all 4 crew members managed to safely eject from those incredibly fast-moving aircraft. They've been recovered and miraculously are reported to be in stable condition following the disaster.
And finally, a terrifying incident unfolded on the ground in Germany. An escaped tiger had to be shot by German police after it actively attacked a man. According to local media reports, the predator had actually escaped from a private facility owned by a local trainer named Carmen Zander. Now, she is widely known in the region as Germany's Tiger Queen. It is a wild, incredibly vivid story that really highlights the extreme and sometimes tragic dangers of private exotic animal ownership. From mid-air collisions and rare virus outbreaks to shifting global alliances and the rapid, disruptive rise of artificial intelligence, our world is moving at a breakneck pace. This explainer is designed to help you make sense of it all, one clear idea at a time. So, with AI anxiety rising and global tensions constantly shifting, what will tomorrow's headlines bring? Thank you so much for watching, and stay curious.